One of Toronto's most recognizable statues is moving, and it's to make space for an entirely new way to get around the city. If you're in downtown Toronto often, you've probably passed by the South African War Memorial. It was designed by Walter S. Allward, a famous sculptor who's from Toronto himself. His memorial was right at Queen Street West and University Avenue, standing at about 70 feet tall, making it one of the most defining features of that intersection. It's also right where we're building a new connection at Osgood Station, which will link the existing TTC station to the Ontario line. This brand new subway will go from Exhibition Place through downtown and up to the Eglinton Crosstown LRT. For us to create something permanent, we needed to make some temporary changes. And part of this was moving this giant piece of heritage, just while we work on construction. So we were faced with this. How do we carefully remove, store, and preserve this memorial so we can build the subway line? The solution was in the monument's own history, and that's because it's already been moved a few times before. The memorial as we know it today was finished in 1911. Then, in 1947, the city made University Avenue wider, so construction crews put the monument on rollers to shift it 20 feet west. In 1960, crews took the memorial apart and moved it again, this time while Toronto was building the Yonge University line. Today, we used a similar method for the monument's latest move. First, we blocked off the area around it. Then, we put up scaffolding. This is to help us access all parts of the monument, including this bottom section of bronze statues. This was the first thing we needed to remove and put into storage.
The contractors did wrap the lower sculptures in protective bubble wrap, essentially. They did provide an extra layer of protection in case the sculptures did come into contact with the scaffolding.
What came next is one of the most memorable parts of the entire process, which was moving the bronze statue at the top. We put up more scaffolding to cover the whole monument. Then we used a crane to pick her up and bring her down to ground level. And just like we did with the other bronze statues, we carefully attached her to a flatbed truck and took her to storage. Now for the final stage, taking down the pillar and the steps underneath it. The way we did this was by assigning a number to each of the blocks and removing them in order. We also cleaned up each of the pieces to prep them, not only to be put away, but to be reassembled. Now, this part of the city is ready for big changes. We can start building the connection to the Ontario line and get you where you need to go better, faster, and easier. And after we finish the subway line, we'll put the monument back together again, right where it used to be. So, what happens to the statues in the meantime? After decades of being in the same spot, they'll be getting some much-needed TLC while they're in storage.
Any graffiti will be removed. They will be washed with a non-ionized solution to remove any of the grime and the existing wax on it. And then it will be re-rinsed, re-waxed and buffed, and then ready for reinstallation.
This move marks a new chapter, not only for this century-old monument, but for the whole city.